So when it comes to my strategy, you'll notice that when I'm using the supply and demand day trading strategy that I basically adapted and created to make my own, and I'm teaching via one-on-one coaching and group coaching and so on, you'll see that I only literally have one single exact technical indicator, which is the VWAP, which is this little purple slash pink line down here. That's the only one I have in my chart all day, every day. Literally, that's it. Because it's really, for the most part, not really of a need for anything else, despite this. And I only have this because of the reasons I'm going to show you here and how you can use it to your advantage on a daily basis when you're trading with my strategy. So I've drawn a couple things on the chart already that I'll quickly go through, but it's generally to say that VWAP is the main indicator that you can use on the side to give you market context of what you should be looking for. So with that being said, as an example, if you break things up, like let's just say on an hour-to-hour basis, it helps out. So from 8:30 to, let's just say, 9:30 as an example, that first hour of the day, typically, not always, typically can give you, hey, more context of what the rest of the day can look like, right? So with this first hour, it's basically above VWAP, and typically if things are above VWAP for an extended period of time, at this current time, an extended period of time is just the market being open for an hour. That's all any time it's been open from a 5-minute chart perspective intraday. Um, it's saying, hey, realistically, more than likely, you should try to look for a call, right? There's other plays for puts all over here, but still just saying as an example, look for a call on a day like this. Because you'll see where these circles are, VWAP's been respected because it's been above it. Anytime it comes down to VWAP, that's technically the low, and it starts bouncing. So you'll see it, hey, it tapped here as a bounce is one. Tapping here as a bounce on these wicks as well on the 5-minute chart, and it bounced up. Came back to tap it here. VWAP's again showing, hey, it's an upward trend day because it's above VWAP. If it's below VWAP, it's a negatively trending day, so it's going downward, right? If it's all between it, it's just a side trending day period, and you can go for both potentially. It doesn't matter really. So bounce here. It broke through basically VWAP here finally, but there was two zones in the way. So zone here and major demand zone here and a minor demand zone down here. Came down, tapped it, and then rushed up, right? Still a call, basically, because again, the majority of the day was above VWAP. Same thing, finally came around, came back to tap it, tapped it 3 times perfectly, and then went up. And if we go to the 1-minute chart perspective, just to show you that, and I'll zoom into this over here. So you can see tapping here, up, tapping here, and within the zone, by the way, and it starts popping up because it typically doesn't break through the zones unless it's an old zone period. It starts flying up. Perfect tap on VWAP here, bounces up. Comes down to tap on this zone, even though it broke VWAP again, right? Did not even break through and perfectly bounced up. Scroll over to the side again, show you these. And these were the ones literally sat on top of VWAP perfectly. This one's pretty close. Same thing. I mean, don't get too fancy on the, hey, it's, what is this, 14 cent at the bottom. This is 13. It's a penny away. It's the same dang thing. And so it bounced on all three of these as well. Um, and if you didn't even know what my strategy was in general, you're able to take plays like this. Because to sum it up, VWAP acts as though it's its own zone. But the question is, can you only trade off of VWAP if that's the case? The answer to that is no. Or you can. It just depends, right? Some days VWAP is very strong because yes, it shows overall market direction, but some days again, VWAP typically it's yes, it's a zone, but it's technically a 1 cent zone, right? That's the width of the VWAP in itself. Versus a zone like this, it's 10 cents. By nature, it's going to be stronger as a whole, so it can bounce basically. So with that being said, sometimes it can break through, but again, on a lot of days, it's pretty easy to just actually bounce on top of it, as long as it's not a fully sideways trending day, like I think the day before. So we'll look at what day was sideways trending. Let's pull up the 5-day, 5-minute on this one because VWAP's here. So like this guy here as an example, maximize sell. So with this day, it's interesting. Well, it's started on the actual day. There we go. Dotted line to the left is the day before. But this whole day, basically from here over to the right, you can see it's sideways trending. And the reason why is that it's basically staying on VWAP the entire time for the most part. And then before it finally goes up, and this is a huge drop down. And you may be thinking, well, there's still no plays here. This is crap. No, it's not. Look at literally, again, think about the zones. This is the bottom of the day, at least from the first. Take a step back. So from this is market open here and then go to 9:30, right? So 1 hour after market open, the zones have been established. So just from a zone perspective, if I just draw these alone, just the lines, you can see, hey, it started, came around, bounce, boom, and so on. Same thing with this little guy over here. Draw it over, right? And then all the way here, if you would have waited, boom, bounce, and then to the downside for you to get an option put. So VWAP told you, hey, it's going sideways for a while. There's multiple different plays that you can potentially get into, and you're perfectly fine. That's what the market showed you because VWAP's in the middle. Now, I'll give you an example of the market when it's going fully either up or down. 'Cause I think one just recently happened. Auto zoom. Yeah, this going right here. So this guy. There we go. And let's actually drag it out. 'Cause when I was looking at the thing, it was pretty large. So you can see if I break it up again, so market open to 9:30 on this little guy here, above VWAP, cool. It's an option call day because it's basically above VWAP. And you can see for the most part, it just kept going up and up and up and up till it finally went sideways anyway. And then again, still, even from a zone perspective, if I just draw it, I don't even want to draw it, honestly. You can see literally how clear as day that is. Um, so it's just that simple. VWAP shows you if it's an uptrend, if it's a downtrend, what you should be looking for in the market as a whole, based off of what that first hour typically will look like. So I'll leave it at that.